From our earlier story of trauma and survival to this one. Jenn Carson was a little girl off on the West Coast with a dad who she says was loving, kind, and a good father. Years later, she would learn the truth, that he was a serial killer. Watch.
The first few years of my life, my father was home with me, and he was a very hands-on, attentive dad. He brushed my hair every morning, he fed me breakfast, took me to the petting zoo, read me stories. Those are kind of my first memories, very loving, very affectionate, very attentive. After he stayed home with me for the first or second year, my mom was wanting to transition into me doing daycare and him going back to work, and he was so resistant. And it was around this time that his mental health was just really deteriorating. He started talking about violence a lot.
At 4 years old, Jenn's parents, Jim and Lynn, divorced and shared custody. During this time, Jim also met Suzan.
And they were just instantly together. You know, it was like a match and gasoline. You know, it just exploded when they met. My first visit to their home was very strange. Instead of having furniture, they had like 100 potted trees or plants. I recall them being passed out high, naked on the only piece of furniture, which is a waterbed. I recall them not feeding me and trying to find food. I was crying and asking my daddy to rub my back the way that my mom did before bed. And I remember she said, "You want a back rub? I'll give you a back rub." She had these long kind of jaggedy nails, and she scratched on my back, and it just seared with pain.
Fearful for Jenn's safety, her mom took her and disappeared for the next few years. Then, in 1983, Lynn heard the news that Jim, now answering to the name Michael Bear, and Suzan were apprehended and confessed to 3 murders in California. Lynn had to tell her daughter.
She said, "You know, we're going to walk home and I need to tell you something important." Overnight, I went from being a 9-year-old Girl Scout to being a serial killer's daughter.
Jenn Carson joins me now. That memory has to be seared in your brain, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, everything changed in that moment. I was 9 years old. I was a Girl Scout. You know, I was loved strawberry shortcake dolls, and in an instant, I became the daughter of a serial killer. You know, the bad seed, Satan's spawn. You know, all these things that I instantly thought that I must be, and it just shattered my world and ended my childhood.
Yeah, your life would never be the same again.
Never again. No.
I think it's so interesting that your memories of him, a lot of them are fond. That it sounds like he, for a lot of the years, was good to you.
Oh, absolutely. He was a very hands-on, loving dad, braided my hair. You know, he was a stay-at-home dad, fed me, took me to the petting zoo. You know, he was just very loving in that period of time.
Never violent toward you?
Never violent towards me.
But towards your mom, yes?
Yes. He really started to kind of disintegrate in the end of their relationship. They were together for about 10 years. And in his late 20s, he started to just become, start having delusions. And he thought I was a psychic, and he was asking my advice, and I'm a preschooler, you know. And he was getting aggressive and violent with my mother. And then he just started talking about violence all the time. He talked about how we needed a violent overthrow of the government and that sort of thing.
So Jenn eventually went to see her father after 17 years in prison and saw him for the first time. What happened when she did, when we come back. Back now with Jenn Carson, the daughter of serial killer Michael Bear Carson, who murdered 3 people in the early 1980s. 3 is the number that he was convicted of. But what do we believe? I mean, do we have reason to believe it was more than that?
Yeah, so he was suspected for a plot to attempt to kill President Reagan. He confessed to 3 homicides in California when there was a moratorium on the death penalty. So it was kind of, when they were initially caught, you know, they confessed to 3 in California. But they were suspects in 12 in the western United States as well as Europe.
He and his new wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
who also went to prison.
and they were together from 1978 to 1983. And I have cold case detectives and individuals contact me who say, I think they killed this individual. And I've helped work with these people. And, you know, I shared with you also that my father unexpectedly got a parole hearing in 2015. And I joined with the victims' families to fight his parole. And I'm going to do it again in 2020.
Good for you. Jenn's been so helpful. She's offered Interpol her DNA. I mean, she's done everything within her power to make sure that all of his crimes are uncovered and that he's held accountable. But it has not been easy for you. What do you think did it? Was it, you know, he got married to this woman who was crazy? Was it drugs? Yeah. What happened to him?
I always describe it as the Titanic. So we all know that there were like 12 factors that sunk the Titanic, right? And so with my father, he had some of those predictors, a long early childhood illness and, you know, and so on. But I think it was the perfect storm. I think it was an untreated mental illness, long-term use of psychedelic drugs, LSD, and also involvement with, you know, a really obsessive, you know, individual, his second wife. And then also I believe that he's a psychopath. You know, 1% of the population are psychopaths. Some of them become serial killers. Some become politicians.
I should say for the record, you haven't had any medical diagnoses in either case.
Tell it like it is. But some become internet trolls. So, you know, 1% of the population lacks human empathy and the ability to have remorse. And so I see those traits in my father.
Did you see that when you saw him in prison that one time?
Yes. So I was working as a school teacher. It was my first year of teaching. And I had an incident where I fell asleep in front of my classroom. And the reason is I've had a lifelong struggle with nightmares. I had come in contact with articles about my father's murders very soon after I was told. And I couldn't read all the words. I didn't know a D word and a B word. I now know it was decapitate and bludgeon. But I figured out the other words. And so immediately after those articles, I started struggling with nightmares. And so I wouldn't sleep. And so here I am. I'm an adult. I'm a school teacher. And I'm falling asleep in front of my class.
You decided to go see him.
I decided to go see him. I said, I'm going to confront him. I'm going to try to seek some closure here. And so the next day, I drove to Folsom Prison. And I, in my head, was ready for this visit with glass and a phone. And so I was all ready. And I went, and it was open visitation. So the door opened, and this man came up and hugged me. And I was so jarred. And then I turned, and all of a sudden, I saw someone I recognized, and this man was winking at me and smiling at me and being flirtatious. And I went, "Is that Eric Menendez?"
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, what is happening?
What weird
like,
world
is this weird? You know, so.
Well, I know.
Yeah,
you said
it was
that
a bizarre visit.
He made it all about himself, which isn't surprising given the history.
Absolutely.
But you have spent your life trying to help others. She now counsels children of people who've been convicted of crimes, and the message is the sins of the father do not belong to the child.
That's right.
Jenn, thank you. We'll be right back.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.